Nice to meet you. My name's Henry. What we're going to be talking about today is how these language models work. And so we're going to have this little unplug activities to show you a little bit of how this works. Yeah, I didn't record the last time. So basically what we have is we have a few students that are going to be demoing how these games work. It's called acting like a language model. And it's going to show the progressions of how these language models are processing information and the data limitation and hallucination as well too. So here's our special guest students. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Peter Pamela Ching.
Hi, my name is Sharon.
I'm Lupago Station.
I'm Robert.
I'm Angelo.
David Trump.
I'm Nicholas. And Hillary.
All right, so these are going to be our special guests, which are going to be demoing this game. As I mentioned, there is 3 levels to this game.
I tried to flip the camera, but I forgot, and it was just looking at my double chin for 1 to 2 minutes. So I'm just going to briefly talk about level 1, right? So the end goal at the end of the day is that they just need to answer my questions. And so level 1 was pretty basic. Basically, I give them a question and then they just respond within 1 minute.
Our question that we're going to be solving inside here is describe your perfect vacation. And I'll give you guys 1 minute to write that. All right, so what they did is they just played with level 1, where they basically just answered a question 1 minute by themselves. Now what we're gonna do is we're moving into level 2 now.
And in level 2, they're gonna still continue to answer that same questions, but this time they're gonna be working in a team. And so what happens is that each person has to basically only add 1 word at a time, or if they feel like the sentence is completed, they're allowed to say stop. Now, what makes this tricky is that they're not allowed to talk or plan with their teammates. All they're allowed to do is either add a word or they can say stop.
And so what y'all's prompt that you guys are going to be answering, and this is the question by the way, is going to be describing your perfect vacation again. I'll give you guys 2 minutes and you guys have 10 seconds each to write it down. Ready, set, go. Right. How was the difference between level 1 and level 2, and how did it affect y'all's results?
The challenge is faced like for the first question. It was very easy for me to answer it because it depended on my thinking moments. But for the second one, you write something different. You have to think critically so that you can write another one. That's the challenge I faced.
Valid point inside there.
For me, the challenge that I faced that we were not connected. The other one thought differently, so I thought different, and we could not communicate to each other to understand what he was trying to write. And that's it.
You have to always consistently look at the previous word and then guess the next word, right? Makes sense. All right, good job, guys. All right, so that was level 2, right? And now what we're going to be doing is level 3. This is the last level.
Okay, so in level 3, it's basically the same idea as level 2, but now they're limited by the words they can use. So what I have in the 3rd level is I give them this little starter word list. So that means the response that they are going to be making 1 word at a time can only be these words inside here.
So you guys have this right here. The same rules applies. You guys are going to have essentially 10 seconds for each person, but you guys can only use words that are on this piece of paper. You guys got it? This is our last level. Ready, steady, go. That is the question. All right, that's the end of it. I know, that was quite difficult in that way.
Yeah.
How was the limitation of, or how was only able to pick words on this worksheet affected y'all's results?
Yeah. It was very difficult, even more than the 2nd level, because here we have to pick our own references from the paper sheet.
Yeah.
Now it was very difficult for us to think a sensible sentence out of these words, because each of us had to pick a different word from all of this. So it was not very easy for us to think the same thing, because I would write there and the other one write any other word which is contrary to what I was able to think of. No, it was very difficult, even more than level 2.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. The scarcity of data, right? for you?
It was really difficult. I think the second level was simple. Because this one, he writes another thing, I have to think, then I write. If it's not connecting, it's wrong. So it was really challenging.
Sure, absolutely, that way. Yeah. Oh, yes, please.
For me, I found it challenging because we had a few number of words. We were limited, and we had to look at all of them within a short time and select a word and think of a sentence, then select a word to use. So it was very challenging because we had less time.
Yeah, and I think it was harder to make coherent sentences too, right? Because then you're limited of these words inside there. All right, so that's basically how the game works. It's progression from level 1 to level 3. We really talk about how do these language models work, and this kind of touches bases a little bit on this idea of like hallucination, right? The first one is that these machines are really just predictive machines, so they're just predicting the next word continuously until they produce some sort of coherent sentence. And if one of the predicted word has a weirdness to it or has a little error, you're basically building on previous words. So you're building on that error until you basically make this response, which is nonsensical. And as we actually saw in level 3, there was a limitation of data, so it was harder to actually produce sentences that did make sense in that way. So that's basically the game. I want to say thank you to all of the guests over here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.